BoE raises quotes by way of 25 foundation points once more, however, says prepared to behave forcefully. London. The Bank of England raised hobby rates by using a further 0.25 percentage point on Thursday, however said it changed into ready to behave forcefully to stamp out risks posed via an inflation rate heading above 11%. A day after the U.S. Federal Reserve raised costs through the maximum when you consider that 1994 with a 75 basis point hike, the BoE caught to its more sluggish technique because it warned that Britain's economy would decrease within the April-June length. The 9-strong Monetary Policy Committee voted 63 for the 25 basis point hike in bank rate to 1.25%, the same breakdown as in May, with the minority voting for a 50 basis point increase. The British benchmark rate is now at its maximum, seeing that January 2009. It become the 5th time that the BoE has raised borrowing charges, because December when it have become the primary principal valuable bank to tighten financial policy after the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. But some critics say it's miles moving too slowly to forestall the upward push in inflation from turning into entrenched in pay deals and inflation expectations, destructive the economy over the long time. The scale, tempo and timing of any similarly increases in bank rate will reflect the committee's assessment of the monetary outlook and inflationary pressures, the BoE stated. The committee could be particularly alert to warning signs of more chronic inflationary pressures, and could if necessary act forcefully in response. The BoE dropped its steerage from May, whilst it said most MPC members believed a few diploma of similarly tightening in economic policy might also still be appropriate inside the coming months. Committee individuals Catherine Mann, Jonathan Haskell and Michael Saunders favored a bigger, 50 basis point increase, as they did in May. Economists polled with the aid of had forecast a 63 vote to elevate prices to at least 1.25%. However, traders expanded their bets on a larger pass in latest days, with sterling plunging towards the U.S. greenback and after reports that the Fed changed into thinking about its uncommon 75 basis point circulate. The BoE referred to that the market path for British interest fees had risen materially because the May meeting, even though there have been noticeably little information in view that then global struggle central banks around the sector are trying to reveal that they could include inflation, which is hitting stages not seen in many years, pushed up by using the reopening of the global economic system after the COVID-19 pandemic, after which by means of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. As well, the Fed's pass on Wednesday, ultimate week, the European Central Bank stated it'd push up borrowing fees in July for the first time since 2011 and might do so again in September, likely by 50 foundation factors. Earlier on Thursday, the Swiss National Bank raised its coverage interest fee for the primary time in 15 years through 0.5% factor in a wonder circulate, and Hungary's significant financial institution suddenly raised its one-week deposit charge. The BoE is elevating charges, although it has warned of a sharp slowdown ahead for Britain's financial system. British patron rate inflation hit a 40-year excessive of 9% in April, extra than 4 instances the BoE's 2% goal, and the significant bank on Thursday raised its forecast to show it peaking barely above 11% in October when electricity payments move up again. Britain's surge in inflation appears set to final longer than in many other economies, partially because of the behind-schedule impact of its mechanism for domestic power price lists, but additionally because of the hit to alternate from the United States' departure from the European Union. A continual loss of workers to fill vacancies is traumatic the BoE due to the fact it can lead to a bounce in wages and turn the inflation surge right into a longer-lasting hassle. A fall inside the fee of the pound in latest weeks, induced largely via the upward thrust in interest charge expectancies inside the United States and the euro area, threatens to feature to the inflation pressure in Britain. The BoE stated sterling have been specifically susceptible towards the US dollar.
It additionally downgraded its short-term forecasts for Britain's economic system,
saying it'd decrease by way of 0.3% in the April-June length.
It had predicted in May that there would 0.1% growth over the 3 months. The forecast for a contraction in boom inside the modern quarter got here despite the contemporary measures introduced in past due May by means of Finance Minister Rishi Sunak to assist families hit via the leap in inflation. The BoE stated the measures could boost financial output by means of 0.3% and pushed up inflation through 0.1% factors in the first year. The next scheduled statement via the MPC is on August